Yeah, man. Thank you.
Well, we're going in. You already know how we do with the introductions, check in on everyone, and then we're going to go ahead and introduce our guests of the hour.
Yay, yay.
Yo.
Welcome. Welcome. What's going on, beautiful people? Beautiful.
Hey, hey.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
hey, hey.
Because that needs to be right. Okay. What's going on, people? Thank you for tuning in for another episode of Technically Speaking News. So we are giving you news
that you can use.
Yeah.
The timing was great there. Good time, Bobby.
Our timing was so off. But people, you already know it's fine. It's fine. We're just gonna move on. Big deal. We're giving you news you can use. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, share, tell a friend, tell a friend. Let's get those plugs in, people.
Yes. And today is different. But before we go on in, Bobby, how was your weekend? How was your weekend?
Well, it was wet this weekend. It was very rainy here.
Okay.
Well, went by a lot quicker than I wanted it to.
Man, quicker than a hiccup. Trust you me, I understand. What about you, Dr. Poole, OG Millennial? How was your weekend, man? Look, you was active on the gram. I was like, wait a minute. Every time I scroll up, I see him. I see him more than I see me. And I'm on there.
It's all about the editing, man. I made a 15-minute video. If you chop that shit up right, you could put out like 10 to 20 clips.
Nice.
And it'll last you 2 weeks.
That's good.
Yeah, man. That's I just smart. Relaxed at home and recouped, Yeah, that's all I did, man. I recuperated the last 2 days.
I ain't mad at it, man. That's good, man. Rest up.
How about you, Corey?
Man, you know what? Saturday, I just can pretty much chill. My kids they go to a STEM program on the weekend, and it's downtown LA, and they had Hope Fest out there. Hope Fest is Miles Minnick, Lecrae, and a couple other gospel rap artists. And they were doing it big. They had probably about half of the if not more than half of the LA Coliseum packed. You know what I'm saying?
And I heard of Lecrae before. Those other names I'm not too familiar with though.
Well, Miles Minnick, he's not new. He's been rapping for about 10, 15 years in the gospel circuit. But he's signed to DJ Head, which is one of LA's main DJs, and he's really popular. And I'm like, hey, bro, do your thing. And you're doing it for Christ, so you can't be mad at that.
Mm-hmm. Is he with the music slaps? His music slaps. Is he with the 116 crew?
No, he's not. He actually isn't. Yeah, he's not with the Lecrae. But you know what I'm saying? Moving right along, because we don't want to be strangers to the guests that's in the house. Because we all talking, I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Who is this C? Michael Chiles, aka Chris One, aka Chris Chiles, aka Hip Hop 101. Mr. Chris C. Michael Chiles, introduce yourself, brother.
What's up, everybody? Again, thank you guys for having me here. I had a great time last time, so we here, and just plain old Chris will do today, all those monicals and the weird things. But I'm here. I'm here to celebrate a personal milestone in my life. I published a book.
Whoa. We're going to get into that in a minute. Just tell them who you are. I'm going to set you up.
Congratulations,
right,
Chris.
Go ahead, Corey. You better at it than me, man. Knock yourself out.
Well, what we want to do here, you know what I'm saying? Whenever you have a platform, right? And this goes to any of those out there. You want to highlight people who's not just influential, but also doing some good in the community, right? And then when they hit a milestone, you want to show your appreciation. So Chris, aka C. Michael Chiles, just recently published an anthology. You got to say it a certain right.
Anthology? I don't know about anthology.
Yeah, man.
A short collection. I'll say that. A
collection of short stories
called
Everlife, right?
Yes.
Now, I was privileged to have a screen copy before anybody else. I had an ARC, which is an author. What is it called? author review copy, which is
Yeah.
And I was blown away. I was like, I didn't know he was this good of a writer as far as storytelling. Now, the man, he gonna give you his repertoire. But again, this is a place where we want to be able to celebrate those we know and excel in different categories. See, Michael Chiles, go ahead and take it away, sir.
Yeah, the book is called Everlife. It's a small collection of short stories that I put together after COVID. Everlife's the title. That one was the first one. It took the longest to write, and everything else kind of just showed up afterwards, just ideas and things like that. I just kept writing every day, putting together ideas and characters and little small innuendos of couples or men and women having discussions about their love, how they feel about each other, and things that may have happened in the past and things that may happen to them in the future. It just kind of grew from there, and I tried to make the story short and very simple, not very descriptive. I wanted to leave that up to a lot of the readers. What the people look like, what they sound like, what the room looks like that they're in. Couple of things to set things up here and there, but no deep descriptions, just short introductions to topics that I think a lot of people can relate to and a lot of couples have gone through, and especially men. I wanted to make sure that the lead characters or any of the characters that are men in the book were stand-up guys and guys that you can relate to, and guys that were always handling their business and always up on who they are, and they were honest and they give good feedback and things like that. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole premise of the book. I'm proud of it. It's out there, and some friends like it. I haven't heard from all of them, but I'm getting some pretty good reviews so far. So,
are we going to have a link up? Can we put up like some type of link to your book so we could have the viewers, go on ahead and get that as well?
I'm
pick
sure,
that up.
If I know Corey, it's already in his brain, and he's already got a way to figure out where the link is going to go. So it'll definitely be available for everyone.
You will get a link.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you for that. Yeah.
But
how long did it take you, man? I was listening to you. How long did it take you in total to finalize the book itself? Like, how long did it take you to write this whole thing?
That's a great question. I started when I got out of the hospital in 2021 in February. We officially released it February this year. It was done, I would say, last year, and I just kept revising and changing and all of that good stuff. And Corey finally thumped me on the back of the head and was like, "Just put the thing out, man." So yeah, I'm 4 or 5 years, I guess. Just little bits, and these are the ones that made it. I wrote a lot during that time, but these are the ones that I felt pretty good about, that made sense as I read them, and they're the ones that hit the book first. There's a lot more. I mean, volume 2 is almost ready. I'm still cooking on that one, but yeah, it took a minute. Just right after COVID, I just kept writing. I really couldn't move around the house too much. They make you go on oxygen when you get home from COVID, and that was 6 months of sitting there with this tube in my face. And
I had no idea you had to have the oxygen for COVID.
Oh yeah, they would not let me go home until I had that thing at the house, man. It rumbled the house. It was wild, but got through it. Did some exercises, got my legs back. Just went to writing every day. So, yeah. But I've always been a writer. But this particular set kind of, it just started to feel special to me. I'm no Stephen King, but
Stop
I
playing
like to
yourself
put
short,
little
man.
things. Shut up,
This
Corey. He always
great,
says that.
it's a great damn read, okay?
Stop it.
Yeah, I don't want to take away from anybody else's questions. I have a few of my own, but I want But Bobby, did you? I know you got a chance to read A
As
Man.
soon as you, yes, yeah, as soon as you sent it, I read it.
Awesome. What was your take on it, Bobby?
It was interesting. I do enjoy reading, and I do like short stories. So when he mentioned it was a short story, I was like, dude, this is right up my alley. I'm not having to read, an entire actual book before our show or anything. So I liked it. I feel like with the characters that you put in, you kind of set the scene. You could kind of feel like they were probably at a bar or a club of some sort. Music might have been going on and stuff, and so you can hear, everything going. And then you always have that one guy that starts crap. We got that one dude, man. Oh, we got that one dude. But sometimes it just takes somebody strong enough to just get that punch right in the, right in that spot, and then they're like, oh, man, I don't know what hit me. And that dude
is that the one that's titled A Man, a Woman, and a Cougar?
Yeah.
That was funny.
Great title, man, by the way, man.
Oh, thank you. Corey wanted to change it.
I sure did. When I read it, I was like, that's a crap title, but go ahead, Bobby.
That's a great title.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Bobby. Yeah, go ahead.
I enjoyed it. I think the bad thing about the short stories is you kind of write your own ending. Because the ending of that one, I'm like, hey, what happened? What happened the rest of the night? I'm like, that's the idea of the short story. So, when you originally wrote this and you ended it, what was your idea? What did the ending look like to you?
What's wild is that's actually one of the ones that kind of happened. Back in college, it ended up everyone went to go have tacos. It was an interesting time that night.
That's so funny, right? That friend throwing herself in the back seat, being the third wheel. I don't care where we go. I just want tacos.
It ended up with tacos, man. It a lot of my experiences being as old as I am, and the experience of college and going through what I went through during that time. A lot of those, I would say maybe 25% of the short stories came from what I went through in college. And that particular situation, it wasn't me. I'll say that. I'm not the lead character that popped somebody in the mouth. I just saw the thing go down. It was it was kind of fun it was funny to watch. But the situation was handled. Everybody walked away, cool. But there were tacos at the end. It was a lot of fun to write that one, just to, bring all those memories back and then to write them in such a way, just different angles. And I think I got that from a movie. There was some sort of movie where people watched the same thing go down and there were different angles of, what happened. And yeah, it just came from an experience. And I don't know, if you want to see more of it, just let me know. I'll extend it and see what happens for the rest of the night,
I enjoyed it. I was all, did my guy get a second date or no?
You know what I mean? We're going to see. But he was smooth through the whole thing, man. He was smooth through the whole thing.
He was, for sure. I
OG, you got any more? You got any questions, OG?
Oh yeah, I've written a couple down, and I'm sure I'll have some more that come to mind as we keep on talking. But you can keep it pushing,
Yeah. Man.
So I know this, but the viewers nor do the team know. What was the changing moment when you were fighting COVID and made you want it to be like, you know what, I gotta go all in on the things that I do. Like you said, this book was a product of you being in the hospital you was in the hospital for almost like half a
3
year.
weeks.
No,
3 weeks. 3 weeks.
But you were battling that situation because I remember there was some time And then you were talking, I was like, bro, I just need to hear your voice to make sure you're still here.
Yeah.
Because, you know what I'm saying? And a situation like that will make you realize, like, look, I got so much in me, I got to get out. Walk us through, like, what was your defining moment when you first put pen to paper?
Got home on Valentine's Day. My wife was just in tears that I was home, you know, and that night I just kind of laid down and thank God I was home and was very prayerful. There was a lot of tears that day.
Right.
But the next morning, I didn't really have my legs because, you know, you're in the hospital and I didn't really get to move around that much. And I lost a lot of strength in my legs and lower body. So I started a nice little workout regimen just to get myself back. And as a reward for having a pretty good day, good breathing day, and oxygen levels going up, I would write down my goals and things that I want to accomplish because it's a pretty scary time, you know. But after that, Everlife just came up because I don't know if you've read it, the lead character in Everlife, he has a special ability to where he never dies. And, you know, I think that's where the idea came from for me. What would I be like if my body would never deteriorate, never grow old, never, I don't need food, water, drink, whatever, and I could never get sick and things like that? How would I take care of my family? And it just kind of expanded from there, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, the life goals became very important. I just started knocking things out. Fix this faucet, paint this wall, you know, make this beat, you know, write this song, get this book out, you know.
Yeah.
And you face a lot of things when you're in there by yourself because the COVID thing during that time, you couldn't have any visitors.
Right.
You know, everything was FaceTime, everything, you know. And when I finally walked home, I got in the car and got home, man, I was just like, well, I'm gonna get a lot of more stuff done now and get it out of the way and do it with, you know, no bars, whatever I need to get done, I'll do it, you know. And go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I said you put a lot of things in perspective because of the fact that
you have to. You have to.
Life, right? You know, speaking of every life, like go ahead, OG Millennial.
Yeah,
what was the shot they gave you, man? Like there was like 3 or 4 different shots to choose from. Which one did you get?
Bro,
you get the Pfizer one?
No, when it was during the time when they didn't know what it was. I was getting a shot every day. I was taking 6 or 7 pills every day, every hour on the hour. They had no idea what it was that they were fighting. And the crazy thing is, the October before that, my sister died from the same thing. You know?
Yikes.
Yeah. So when I got in there, I was scared for my life. I was taking anything to keep me so I can get back to my family and eventually get this book written. But you know, that was the push, man, just sitting in there. And I had a notebook with me and I was writing all kinds of ideas and songs and calling myself a rapper. I'd zone out just so I can write some bars down. Some ideas to make beats when I got to the house, everything, man. When I got to the house, all kinds of creativity just spilled out of me. And this happened to be the book to come out of that. So, you know, I'm not thanking God for the condition, but it did kind of light a fire under me to get some things done.
All worked out.
Yeah,
I'm glad you're here, man. So glad you're here, man.
Yeah. Thank you.
You were the guy, man.
This show, by the way. This is a dope show.
You're the guy, man. First guy who ever let me get into a studio right here, man. Right. He recorded my first song, made my first beat. Yeah. He helped me out with the first show I had, man. And he even helped manage and put me up in a little spot in Long Beach, man. And He wasn't even a guy who charges you a bunch of money, man. It's so reasonable too, man. You still doing the music on the side too, or you just doing the writing now?
Always, man. The music, the studio. If you could see it now, you got to come by, Don. See this thing. It's definitely elevated. Yeah, I'm still at the house. We still cooking over here, man. And
I'll show up.
Yes, come on. Come on.
Well, so we've been talking about Geronimo and myself heading out there so we can do an actual live show together.
Yeah.
So, you know, we can sit down somewhere, you know, record and just go live and do our show, all of us together.
Come see me. You guys are welcome. Absolutely.
We're gonna shoot it at PadNet.
Oh, we can do that too.
Yeah, PadNet is a public access digital network. So we can use all their equipment. All we gotta do is sit down and talk. Press play.
Nice. Yeah, man. Let's go. Thanks, Don, man. Honestly, let me say, Don, you're actually first one that I saw on my publishing that would get a performance royalty. I think that night you performed at Club Cabanas in Long Beach. And we did all the business right, man. And I actually saw money from you performing. So thank you for that.
You know, I love the music, man. That's a hard hustle though, man. Like I wish I would have had the full dedication for it, right? Go out and because it's a process, man. It is a process.
Definitely.
I wanted to ask you about the book too, man. If nobody else has any questions right now, man. But like a lot of people when they write books, they have like an editor guy who helps them out at the end. Did you do all the editing on your own, or did you have someone come in and like proofread it and give you like ideas to like drop stuff or add stuff like that? You know, I'm like a proofreader.
Nah, this the first shot out, man. It is what it is when it showed up on the pages, but I did. Because of the way I work when it comes with music and how meticulous I am about that, I tried to apply that same thing to these short stories. And sooner or later, the words just start to spill into each other because I'm reading it so much and going line for line. Does this make sense? Does this make sense? And all of that. As far as proofreading, I tried to do that via the computer, just spell checking, make sure the grammar makes sense, going back and rechecking again and being sure. And then Corey, he would take a look at it and read it. And if there's something he noticed, he would let me know. And we try to go back and make adjustments as far as that goes.
Damn title.
What's that?
That title.
Yeah, the title. But I stuck to my guns on that. That one, I had to have that title. That just made sense to me. You know, it was simple. It's a good question, though, man. Thanks.
Bobby, do you have any questions?
No, I'm good. He answered my questions earlier.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So
it's gonna be a short podcast, man. I might as well just go home. Ain't nobody.
I keep you going, bro. I can keep you going.
I get up.
we got quite a few. We got 2 more segments that you as an author, and a creative. You also we want your chiming in, sir. So yes, you're captain for 45.
We're here, man. I'm here.
But as far as like one out of all these short stories, tell us your favorite story and why.
I think my favorite one is the one it starts with. It's called "She Don't Know My Name." It's pretty much an entire story of a roommate that I had, and in college, and how he dealt with girls after a breakup, a really harsh one. And he became pretty almost like Bruce Wayne-ish, he's very dark and very, the character in that particular short story is he's just very straightforward and simple thinking guy. Do you want to do this or not? If not, cool, I'm moving on. He's he's smart, he's rich, got his own money, and he takes care of his friends. But when he's very cautious about stepping into a relationship again after being so heartbroken. So, when he finally meets this girl, he uses all the weapons that he has to, make sure that she's the one for him before he makes any moves. So, that would probably be my favorite one. There's one called Fracture.
That's my favorite one.
That one actually stemmed from a conversation that I had with a friend of mine. Because I'm such a sensitive guy and have been most of my life, I tend to remember the past really, really well in strong detail, from, smells to colors, outfits, whatever happened that day. Ask me if I was there, I remember most of it. And Fracture came from a quote that I got from a friend of mine who said, I need to let go of the past. And I was like, okay, cool, I will. But then I thought to myself, what if you can't? What if it's impossible for you to let go of anything that you've gone through? And what if that particular past section keeps repeating? Is it going to blow your mind? Is it going to, are you going to crumble under it? Are you going to try to fix it? What happens? And it just kind of took off from there. So Fracture is dope. Of course, Everlife. That was my stab at futuristic relationships.
What is that looking like? Give me a little example of these futuristic ones, man.
Look at the front cover of the book, man. There's a couple in it's kind of my nod to Wakanda, in that particular setting. And it's about family. And remember there it is. Hey,
that's some beautiful
and that's the Amazon link. So that's the cover you get at the on the Amazon link. And the back, I think, is an excerpt from Fracture, I think. But
Amazon Everlife.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
Type that in, get it. But Everlife is about that guy who can't die, who can't suffer any diseases, who discovers Earths for people. And when we first meet that character in the short story Everlife, we're on 12th Earth, the 12th one that he found for the world to survive on. So he's a revered commander in that world. And his condition is found to be a little illegal. So we got to figure out how he's going to survive and how he's going to take care of his family. So Everlife is a dope.
I'm buying it right now, bro.
I appreciate that, man.
$10.99, man. That is such a good deal on Amazon right now. It's less than $20, man.
Talk to him. Tell him, go get it.
Right now, Amazon. It took me less than 1 minute to purchase this book, guys. Go out and do it right now.
It should be there in 3 days, right?
Yep.
Yeah, man. But yeah, those will be my ones. And of course, there's a couple others in there. There's one that I mentioned my frat in, Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated.
Oh, dang. It's 1906 or something, right? 06 or something?
It's the only year. 1906. It's the only year that matters. All right.
Respect.
But yeah, they're in there. But yeah, it was just a whole collaboration of memories that served me well and don't serve me so well, or didn't serve me so well. But it was also a growing thing for me. Once all that stuff hit the pages and the paper and it became a book, I'm able to move on and live in my present and take care of my family now, take care of my daughter, take care of my wife, and make this music for these people. I actually finished a song. It's called Everlife. It is a theme song for this particular book. I don't know when it's coming out. I'm being really meticulous about it, in particular about how it sounds. So
cool. Well, whenever you release it,
yeah.
So whenever you release it, you have to come back on so we can put it all together.
That's a promise. We're gonna do that. Definitely.
Cool.
by Everlife, right?
Yeah.
When people think about superpowers and they think about what's the best superpower to have, is some people say for living forever, right? But that is, I think living forever to me is almost like a curse. It's a gift and a curse, right?
Yeah.
You get to see your lineage, but then you get to see all your loved ones die.
Yeah.
Everybody around you, you know, from beginning to end, just go. And having the power to say, look, this is the woman that I love, and this is my child. I'm giving them this same thing called what is it? Immorality. I mean immortality.
Immortality. Yeah.
I'm giving them this because I know that I cannot go on without them. But when you give your kids something like that, because obviously your spouse knows, but your kid may think in a different lining of you, because we all think differently, right? Especially they have the gift of immortality, but someone who they may love may not know that it's a possibility to share it. And it, like you said, it was illegal for them to do that in the story. It's like breaking the law for love. You know what I'm saying? What would you do for the person you love? Would you break the law if you can have them for forever? Right? And that's what I took from that story. It was like, you know what I'm saying? If I can have this person for forever, I would. And I will do whatever I can to make that happen. And he did. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I took out. That was one of the greatest love stories never told to me. Yeah.
Well, that was cool. I don't know. It was just an idea, man. There's plenty of stuff out there like it. I guess the character that I developed, he was already a commander. He had already seen war. He had already seen death. He had already dealt with aliens and the like. So when he finally decided to be in love, of course, he had to share who he was and what he was capable of doing with the person that he loved, because that's how you build trust. That's how you build a foundation. A great relationship is based on trust. And when you're honest like that, you know, you move forward. Yeah, it. I don't know if I would choose immortality. It's a hard thing to swallow, you know, because even as human beings, we see that, you know, we see death. You know, family members pass away, best friends, good people that you've known since college. They all, you know, tend to pass away, and you're still here on this earth. So while I'm here, I'm just trying to do some good. I'm trying to, you know, give to people, help them live their dreams. You know, if they need me to work on a beat and they don't have much money, let's make some music, man. It'll be great later. Don't even worry about it. You know, that's just the type of person I am. So if I can help help you live your life better by helping you get your dreams out, then I guess that's what I'm here for. So, and that's my sense of immortality right there, just working and
legacy.
helping people reach their goals, you know, and watching them grow.
Yeah, with you saying that, for writers out there, feature writers or people who are kind of figuring out what they want to do and they wanted to get into creative writing, what type of advice would you give that person, someone who's looking to maybe go the route you're going and writing a book?
Man, the hardest thing I had to deal with was actually letting all of those stories go and putting them in a book and letting the people read it. You know, when as a kid, I took criticism really hard because I wanted to be the best at everything. But as I grew older, I knew that I'm not the best at everything. And criticism helps if it's there to help you move forward. So I would say if you're writing something and you think it's good, then put it out to the people and move on to the next thing. I mean, Corey would tell me, let the baby breathe and rock with it for a minute and expand on it and get it to as many people as possible, which I am doing. And I'll tell you about that later. But to answer your question, it would just be just once it's done, let it be done and get it out to the people and let them read it, let them enjoy it. If they hate it, fine. If they love it, even better. And just move on to your next project and just keep writing. Yes.
Let me ask you a question. So what do you think better when it comes to short stories? Do you think one based off of facts or fiction would be better for readers?
Good question.
It's a very good question. I can only speak from what I deal with things that have happened to me and subjects that I have experienced. It's tough. Everlife was tough to write because I don't know a lot about space, but my imagination went there. But as far as relationships and having conversations with other human beings about being in relationships, yeah, I know about that. So I can definitely write about that.
Right.
So all that stuff comes from a real place. So if you can put out something that is creative enough and deals in both, you would make a really good short story at that point. I don't know if Stephen King has ever seen a clown with a big head walking around stealing kids, but he came up with that story. You know what I mean? So,
he terrified my mom to death with that story, man. She's still afraid of clowns because of that movie.
He was smoking something.
My man comes up with some scenarios. But if you read a lot of his background stuff and where that stuff comes from, he's been scared a lot in his life, and he applies that to his short stories and his big novels and ridiculously long movies and things like that. So, it's a great question, but I think if you can weave the two together, then you've got the makings of a really good story.
That's really
all
good.
right.
Really good.
Man, that was a good question.
Like, comment, and subscribe. Everybody listening right now, I know y'all loving this content. We got Chris Chiles here, producer and writer, man. Sharing that knowledge. All you future writers out there.
Yeah,
okay,
man.
if you don't mind, we're gonna kind of parenting topic.
Yeah, repeat that. Come back.
Yeah, you have to say that again.
Okay. No, I was saying that we're going to caveat off of what we're talking about your love for reading, and move it into the parenting topic and kind of apply the same exact thing into our everyday parenting life, right?
Okay.
And so I was thinking, what's the difference between knowledge and wisdom? Anybody? What's the difference?
Wisdom is applied knowledge.
Wisdom is knowledge that is applied, because you can gather data all day long and read, but if you are not applying what you're learning to your everyday life, there will be no improvement, right?
Yep.
Right.
That's true.
So I think that with the advancement of technology, we do often see people not reading as much, unfortunately, because I know my daughter, when she was younger, she would struggle with reading, so she would rather have the technology read to her. So I was like, you're not going to get anything from that. You need to read the actual words. And so the topic kind of stemmed from this, which was how do we teach our children to love to read, to get back to that black and white pages, so you can feel the pages as you're going through. You can smell the book, you can see the story, you can with as descriptive as the words are, and you learn to fall in love with reading all over again. How do we as parents kind to try to transition our children into wanting to read themselves if they don't love it?
I got it.
All right, tell me, what do you think?
Okay. My daughter, who's 23 now, the first book I read to her was How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I read that book to her every day when she was a kid, when she was old enough to understand what I was reading.
Mm-hmm.
I did the voices, I did the sounds, I stood up and acted certain things out. I did everything in that book I was supposed to do, right?
It's a good parent. What a good parent.
I did it every night. I think she was 5, 6 years old, 7, 8. And then after a while, she grabbed her own, got her own books that she liked. And she started reading exactly how she thought the voices should sound in those books. She'd act out the characters. She'd stand up, read the books. It'd become a movie for her in her head. And now today, she writes down all of her dreams, every dream she's had. She's got manuscripts of books from, I believe, her 6th grade. She got her first one all the way to college. And she's got piles and piles of stories, books, short stories, lists of books that she wants to read. To me, I'm saying all that to say that as a parent, you got to get active. You've got to put the book in their hand. You've got to show them the words, and you've got to give them the sound of when someone says kaboom, you've got to say kaboom in real life. And if the Grinch is talking, you give them that Sean Connery voice. You go all in that whole thing. And then when she finally saw the movie, it blew her mind, right? When the Grinch Stole Christmas, Dad read it just like that. And I cannot believe this stuff is connecting. And that's when she had to go get every book out there. I got to read this next book. I got to read this thing because I want to make a movie. I want to be involved in the music on this thing. She just went ham, man. So I say that to every parent. If you're not reading to your kids, you're missing out. They're losing. You know, there's plenty of AI could read the thing to them, but you know, that's your child. Those are your kids. Sit down with them, entertain them until you are exhausted, you know, and sooner or later, something is going to click in their head to where I actually want to write this book. I want to see how this movie was made because I remember this book being read to me by my parents. I want to see how this video game expands because I remember my mom and dad playing Atari in front of me, and I want to know how this thing works. Yeah, man, we did it.
100.
We did it.
I think that you answered the question just perfectly because what you did was you made reading fun. Yep. You gave voices to characters. You stood up when if something went boom, you went kaboom with it. You got her engaged in that story.
Yeah.
And so that's what we want to do. We want to make reading not feel like a chore, but feel like entertainment. And we all want entertainment.
It's an escape, man. Reading has always been for me an escape. It's a place I've never been. I've never been to Maine, but Stephen King puts you in Maine when you read all of his books. I think I could go down the main street of Maine right now. I've read so many books by him, and the way he describes it, I could turn left and find his house. It wouldn't be a problem. But that's what good art authors do. You know, they put you in that spot and they take you away for a moment, you know, and you're kind of angry when you can't get back to your book, you know. So that's how I was when I read a lot of things growing up, and you know, writing was just always easy to me, just to escape and create different worlds and create characters and all kinds of stuff. So when my daughter got here, it was easy call for me. I was reading every night. You know
what's funny?
That's great.
Y'all want to? I have probably about 150 books in my house, right?
That's it.
Yeah, but
two of them are the Bible. I already know that.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, but that only counts as one book, and I got about 5 of those. However, for my kids, like one thing, because my wife is a school counselor, and she, when we got our babies, the first thing she did was like, we need to get books. This is this. And mind you, tablets were out then. We even had iPads, Kindles, and Nooks and all that stuff. But we were like giving them books, page turns. And it was funny. One day we went somewhere. We knew we were going to be out and about for a long time. So my wife was like, you guys pick out your book. My son snuck 2 books. And at first I was about to get upset. And then I had to realize, like, he really likes reading. You know what I'm saying? So I get the disobedient part, but then it's not like he's trying to steal a video game system, right? He's literally going to get a book so he can be entertained. And I had to just catch myself. And then I also had to apply my wife because, like I said, I have about 150 books in here because my kids, they have book carts. And every time they buy a book, they every time they want something to do, we like read a book. Like, we get them books. Now, mind you, some of them are like stories of Michael Jordan, Steve Jobs, and some of them obviously about fictional, but we keep their brain reading. Like, I read every day, right? I read my Bible, but I read every day. And one thing about reading, it keeps you sharp. And if I just, you know what I'm saying, just knew as a parent, I'm so proud of what my children are doing in reading, but I just sometimes kind of feel like I wish I had that type of parental discipline when I was a kid to go grab a book instead of watching TV. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. We had some great memories watching TV, but when I read my first book, I think it was Black Boy by Richard Wright. I was like in 9th or 10th grade, and I sat with that book. Like, I remember, like, man, the book was one of those things that's like, why haven't I been reading? Because I read at school, and I was always the animated one when I read, because I was like, if we're gonna have fun, you know, reading is fundamental. I remember the riff. Every time you read a book, you get a free pizza. Well, I had like 7 pieces, okay? Because I read a lot. You know what I'm saying? You can tell that I ate. However, you know what I'm saying? The thing is, reading nowadays needs to be more encouraged. No problem. Reading needs to be more encouraged. And not just, like you said, it's not just like a tablet. Filling pages of a book is amazing. It's amazing. Smelling a book depends on where the book is, because I found books in my bathroom several times that I wasn't cool about. But the fact that you can pick up a book and have that old library smell is something, just that nostalgia just come over me. And I think that's what's missing in a lot of these young individuals these days, is the fact that
y'all keep going. Y'all keep going. I gotta go get my charger. My phone is about to
go ahead, brother.
Get out of here. Keep going. I'll be right back.
For sure. But yeah, that's I mean, it's something about books. It's just something about physical books.
That's what I was saying earlier about like smelling them, everything. When I got home from work today, as soon as I got home from work, I immediately start cooking, and Grace asked me, "Oh, can you take me to the library?" And I'm like, "Oh." You know, by the time I get home from work on Monday, I'm like, you know, I really got to start cooking. I don't know if I'm going to have time. And she's giving me a crap, man. My 9-year-old giving me crap about not taking her to the library. I'm like, now hang on a second. I've been at work for the last 9 hours and on the road for the last 40 minutes. Excuse me if I don't want to take you to the library like the moment I get into the door. And I guess my husband heard her kind of giving me the 3rd degree. So he comes in. He's like, Grace, hang on a second. Your mom's busy. I will take y'all to the library in the morning. I'll let y'all pick out a few books and we'll hang out. And I looked at him and I said, you sure? And he's like, yeah, just let me take the girls. I was like, cool. So that gets them off my back, and we're going to keep our word, you know,
right?
Because she likes to go there. And even though I feel like she reads silly books, those are things that she enjoys. And she likes going in there and touching everything and looking to see what the introductions are, what they're about. She mainly reads a lot of fiction. She likes the Diary of the Wimpy Kid books and all the Dog Man books.
God, I got all of those in here.
Yeah, she likes reading all of that stuff. So she, you know. And then Mercy, my 6-year-old, is at a third grade reading level, and so she's reading, higher books too. It's not just like a picture book with D is for duck. No, we are way past that.
Yeah.
We're way past that, and she reads very quickly too. And I'm like, hey, hold on. Did you even understand what you just read? Because that's a big thing, right? It's not just reading it. Like, that's great, but do you understand what you just read?
Right.
She did.
That's amazing.
Smart pants.
That's amazing. What about you, Diane? How has reading been influential in your life?
Well, I don't know, man. I'm not a book nerd like you guys are. You guys talking about you love the smell of books and shit. Like, man, my love for books is nothing like that. So I read a book because they made me read a book, and it doesn't make me any less of a person. I'm more of a visual learner, right? Like, I was the one who was watching TV and playing video games instead of reading a book when I was at home, because they made me read books when I was in school, and most of the books they made me read in school I didn't like, and they were boring, so it wasn't inspiring to me. And it's not my mom wasn't reading to me as a child. My mom loves books. She was always reading, and when she would tell me stories as a kid, she wasn't reading from a book. She would spend time to make up a story and create a story to tell me to help me fall asleep, right? Great job, Mom. I love you for that. But, for some people, maybe a lot of people, reading is boring. And for me, reading a book now, it makes me tired. I want to go to sleep, right? So it has to be something that really stands out. And a lot of the writing, is subjective, so if it were like something like the first book I read was a Star Wars book, right? And then the next book I read was the Bible. And then I read the Bible like 3 or 4 more times. And these are the 2 books I read, and so do I encourage reading? Yeah, sure. Absolutely. And in fact, when it comes to reading, I'm a terrific reader, right? I read very well. I'm probably, Bobby, more like your daughter. I'm a quick reader, right? I'm able to speed through it very quickly because I'm a good reader and I understand words and spelling and whatnot. But I'm more of a writer, whereas some people are great readers and do the voices. Like my girlfriend Lauren, she does story time with her kids, and she does exactly like you guys said. She changes her voices, and sometimes I'm like, hey, call me when you're doing story time, because I at 42, 44 years old want to hear story time too, right?
Because I want to hear story time too.
Yeah, right. She's reading the Harry Potter books, right? And she's trying to do the Harry Potter English voice. I'm like, oh, that, right? Like, that's so cool, So I encourage it, but yeah, we don't want to shit on people who don't read. There are a lot of people out there who are illiterate also and just don't know how to read, and so we hope those people can learn how to read, and can enjoy reading as much as a lot of other people, right? Like, I loved watching Reading Rainbow, and I'll just end with this, right? But once they started making stuff that I could learn on television and movies about books, then I just found it more entertaining to watch it as opposed to reading it,
Right.
You know what? That's interesting you said that. One of my absolute favorite shows growing up was a show called Wishbone, and they played it on PBS. It was a little white dog, and what he did was every single episode, something that was happening with his family, he turned it into a book. And so I remember reading a lot of books visually through the Wishbone show, just because he acted them out. They did Romeo and Juliet and the Time Machine and different Shakespeare stuff, and like all of the books that they had kind of brought the books to life without me having to read anything. Yeah, I don't know if do y'all remember that? Because I feel kind of silly now telling you that.
No.
Clifford, the big red dog. I remember they made me read Clifford when I was in school. The big red dog.
Yeah. Clifford's like a normal. I would say like a normal coming of age book, but no.
Right.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Corey?
I like the history book. I loved reading about history. I like learning that stuff. But you could just watch it so much faster. Just watch a docuseries on Egypt, right? You learn everything in 2 hours.
True. But one thing that I love as a kid, and I'm pretty sure as an adult, a lot of people do too, reading comics. Like, I read comics. Like, that right there was my introduction into X-Men, my introduction into Spider-Man, Batman, because I never saw the cartoon. I was like, I saw my brother's like real thin book. I was like, what is this? It's like, it's a pamphlet? No, it's a comic book. And so then I would read the little bubbles of the characters in the corners, and I would put 2 together. Oh, this is read first, and then this is read first. And then it started making me creatively think like, oh, what if this person did this? And then I gave them my own sound in my head. Like in my head, Peter Parker never sound like Tobey Maguire. Never sound like Andrew Garfield. Never sound like what's old boy's name right now?
Oh yeah, we know who you're talking about.
Yeah,
I do know who you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's Spider-Man, you know, not Spider-Boy. It was Spider-Man. You know what I'm saying?
Hey,
and he's back.
Welcome back.
Welcome.
Wow.
Yeah.
Phone Logic 101. Keep your charger close.
There it is.
My God. I'm sorry. I hope y'all had a great conversation.
Oh, we still are. But we were talking about reading. But like I was saying, it's like I understand there's a lot. You said it on the nose, Don. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't even think about it. We're not bashing people who don't read, you know. But there's other alternative ways you can read now. There's audibles, right? I think some of the best audibles that I've read were by some amazing people, and which also made me look at them differently. When you read Audible, listen to Audibles, like especially when it's in their own voice. Like, and I'm wondering with the technology in the future, maybe they'll be able to do that with like let's say a Michael Jackson memoir and his family get a hold of some of his readings that we don't know about, and they use his voice, and then Michael can tell his story in his own voice. Which would probably be extremely scary and amazing at the same time. But reading a book when it comes out, to me, and we talked about it earlier, brings immortality. It brings the person's thoughts that live forever, because why? It's now manifested in a space that it's tangible. It can be read, it can be bought. And the person who created it no longer has to think about it because he manifested it or she manifested it. Right. I think that's one way of us living and being immortal, is by getting the things that's inside of us out. And that's even biblical and scripture. You know what I'm saying? Because we're in a flesh suit, keeping 100. You know what I'm saying? But everything inside of us is spirit. But don't let me not go that far, because you know this ain't that type of show. This ain't that, but you know, you already know how I get down. But,
I got you, Corey. I knew what you doing.
But yeah, Chris, we were talking about how reading shaped us. And you know, you were talking about it. We were talking about it with you before you had your break. But Bobby was just talking about how. Bobby, you can explain it. Well, I gotta explain. You explain it.
I'm just talking about the importance of reading and different things that kind of shaped my view. Donald had mentioned that he's more of like a visual learner, and I had mentioned that like when I was growing up, PBS had a show called Wishbone where every single episode it was his dog, and different things were happening with his family, and he would always say, you know what, this reminds me of this story, and it would like fade away into the beginning of a book, and all of a sudden Wishbone is dressed up as Don Quixote, and you know he's showing us a story. So I got to read a lot through visual learning, and so it's just learning to love to read. And I had told them earlier about a story that happened like an hour ago in my kitchen about Grace giving me a hard time about not taking her to the library today, and we homeschool our kids and stuff. And so my 6-year-old Mercy, she is at like a 3rd grade reading level, so she reads very quickly, and it's just making sure that she's understanding what she's reading and just trying to do exactly what you were talking about, is making reading fun for the kids.
Yeah.
So and applying that to what it is that we're doing. And so we kind of gave our own idea.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, that's what I was saying.
Oh, for sure. For sure. I mean, when your kids finally get out in the real world, there are documents they have to read. There are things they have to sign. There are people that are going to hand them paperwork And if they don't understand what's on that page, they can write off an entire ownership of whatever it is they want to, keep in their lives. So absolutely read and apply. It was easy for me. I, didn't have too much growing up. So I read. I lived at my local library. Every music book, every book on Mozart, Chopin, Bach, I was trying to read all of it. And I passed that down, thank God, to my daughter. She loved going to the library. It was a space for her, and yeah, I just love to do it. And I would read to people. I was always the first one in class to read, and it got really in high school. It got really. It was on my. I would tell the teacher beforehand, please don't call me. I don't feel like reading today, because I read so well and so quickly, and we get through things. None of my classmates would want to read. So I was just like, I don't feel like reading today. Can you not call me for that? And it's weird, but it happened to me. I just don't. To this day, it's weird to me. I'm reading documents in front of people. I'm always in office meetings. When you're in meetings and people who would like to go first, I'm always like, let me get mine out of the way so I can sit back and watch these people fumble through all their stuff. But I love my coworkers.
I got a question for you. If we have somebody who's watching right now, right? We have a viewer out there that's like, man, you know what? I didn't grow up like really liking books, or like Donald was mentioning, he didn't grow up, wanting to actually go out and pursue reading because
it wasn't exciting
to do it at school. But like as an adult, if you don't like to learn, if you don't like to read, how could we encourage others, even in your adult age, to pick up a love for it?
Well, I just read what I like now. Now that I'm older, I read things that I like. I'm not forced to read the history of, George Washington. I read
ruined it
what
for me,
I
man.
like.
Read this book. Read this book. These books suck, man. Why are you making me read these books?
But here's the thing. The way that I would read books that I didn't like, how do I apply this? Who is this guy to me? If he's no one to me, I'm going to get right to it, write what I need to write, do the book review in front of everybody and get it out of the way.
Okay, that's not out of the norm.
Yeah, I would not pick anything that my mind would go off on and have a great time reading,
Right.
Biographies, history books, you read that stuff. But today, I read what I want. If I'm interested in learning about, Nikki Giovanni and the books that she's read, or Octavia Butler and the books that she's read, I'm going back just so I can get some research, so I can absorb what it is they had to give me, so that I can apply it to future things. Now it's about application for me. If I read it, how do I apply it to my life? You know what I mean? And sometimes it's enjoyment. I still have Stephen King books that my family still gets me every year. They get me the new one every year. And there's like 4 of them I haven't read. But I'm just like, one day I'll sit down and entertain myself, because you can't really apply a Stephen King book to to your everyday life of a college tuition for your daughter. There might be something in there, I don't know. But, back then I was just curious and I was hungry. What was out there that I don't know about? And I need to read about it. Especially if it came to music. If it was about a producer, if it was about a key change or a structure, about a song, I was reading it and trying to apply it to my music. So mine was always about application and having fun with it. I found an author earlier when I was a kid that had his last name was my first name. So I was like, I'm going to read this guy just because we have that in common. He's got my name and I'm going to read his books. And he turned out to be a sports writer. He wrote about baseball and football and characters and things like that. So I still remember to this day. So that's the impression I got from being at that library, just finding things that interest me and reading about it,
Amazing.
If it's business, read about business. If it's all business, read about business. How to grow your business. If it's taxes, I read about that growing up. Everything, man. If I didn't know about it, there was a book that would tell me instead of just going to YouTube and typing in how do I do my taxes. Read about it. I was forced to read and try to figure it out that way. You ever had to do your taxes on paper?
Not yet.
Not on a computer. I had to do my taxes.
Very first time I did mine was on paper.
That's what I mean. You gotta read that stuff, man.
You're saying reading contracts is important, huh? I gotta stop skipping and going straight to signature and signing these things.
You gotta read a couple of things, man. Terms and conditions.
Regardless, I might as well just sign.
Those things I like reading.
There goes Donald. What do you mean I joined the army? What do you mean? That's what you put.
That's what you signed.
What? Wait, hold on.
That's what I'm saying. I can come and get you, man.
I didn't see that. Section
For
17.
all legal purposes, definitely read the contracts.
Please read the contracts.
Please.
And there are people getting paid so much money to read those contracts for you. So learn to do it yourself, But it's got to be fun, man. You can't just read everything. There's a lot of garbage out there. Stuff that'll just mess your brain up. But, be selective. Find an author you like. Read everything they have to offer.
I always say, if you're gonna read something, don't make it worth your while. Don't be because that's a lot of time. Time is the most valuable asset we got, and if it's not going to help me make me money, build relationship, or even make you
a better person. If there are books out there that make you a better person, if you can apply the goodness in a book to your everyday life, keep that book with you. Share it with me. Read Everlife. Read Everlife. It's a great book.
Yeah, that's a great book. That book needs to be a movie.
See, no one here. Y'all need to clap. Clap. Everlife. It's a great book.
Yeah, I was just about to give the plug right now, man. Amazon, right? Pick that up on Amazon. $10.99 right now.
Put the link up, man.
Sound machines, I'm not responsible for the sound machine, man. That's Corey, man. He should have been dropping bombs a long time ago, Corey.
All day.
It's all gang up on Corey.
There go my bomb.
All day. Oh, don't do that. Ooh. But yeah, man, I've just always loved it, and I'm lucky enough to have a daughter that loves to read too. So it was easy for me. She would escape to her books, and it got really rough at one point. She would go a whole day and hadn't eaten a thing, and read every book that we ever got her, and we were like, you got to put those down and drink some water, take a bath, something, come out of your room,
I've been there. My kids. I'm like, bro, you missed your face with put the book down. He's like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, I get it. You like the book. I'm happy. But eat.
Eat something, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying? It's about that time for us to start wrapping up the show. However,
man, I'm so sorry I missed that thing, man. I will be more prepared when I come back with the second half of this book.
No apologies needed, man. We thank you. Thank you for you being a guest, sharing your story with us, sharing Everlife with us. We truly appreciate it.
There it is.
Hey.
So with that being said, Chris, please let us know what you got coming up for you and in your situations.
Okay. The 18th, I'm going to be at USC campus with the book. I'll be presenting the book in front of a lot of readers. There's this LA book fair that I'm a part of. So I'll be on the USC campus from 10 to 2 o'clock on the 18th. I believe that's a Saturday. I'm not sure. Check the date on that. Saturday, 10 to 2, USC campus, the LA book thing. LA Book Fair. Hip Hop 101 is expanding. We're going to be on a campus in Beverly Hills teaching some kids how to play the game. Hip Hop 101, it is a hip hop card game. Working on the book, the album for the book. I'm about 4 songs in. So there's a lot of interesting things happening there. Other than that, man, I'm just glad to be here. Thank you guys again for having me. You guys are some of the dopest people that I know. And I'm so glad that I have this platform and you guys are able to put me on it. So thank you for that so much, so much.
Nah, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you, man.
Yeah,
man. For coming on and spreading your knowledge and sharing your book with us. It was great.
You know what else you did, man?
Book, read it. What's up?
You made me not have to come up with anything to write for this week, man. So thank you very much. You gave me an easy week this week. To have you on every
anything I can do to help, man. That's what I'm here for. You know?
He said, I got you, Donald.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Again, thank you guys again. You guys are an amazing platform and you guys are an amazing group of people. Very intellectual, very smart cats, funny, it's comfortable. I love being here. Thank you again, man.
Heck
No
yeah.
doubt, no doubt. I'm still.
Appreciate
Can
it.
y'all still hear me? I'm having a
Yeah.
little bit of trouble.
Yeah, we can hear you.
But before we go, Bobby, go ahead and tell the people what they can get from you in the Bexar County of San Antonio, Texas.
Hey, listen, if you're in the San Antonio, Texas area, I own a company called Patriot Restorations. We are a woman-owned, disabled veteran-owned small business here in the Bexar County area, and we focus primarily on water damage. So if you have a busted pipe inside of your home and you were able to get it fixed, but now you've got soaked sheet wall and sheetrock everywhere, what are you going to do? You're going to give me a call and we're going to have a talk and see what we can do to get you and your family healthy. So we're going to make sure and take care of you. Again, that's Patriot Restorations. You can reach out to me on IG at bobby.lopez.5, and I'm going to be under the same exact one on Facebook. So find me, hit me up. Let me know if you got any questions, and right on to my co-host, Donald. Let him know what you got in the LA area.
Yep. I am cleaning swimming pools and spas and swimming pool filters, and it's coming up to summertime, so you got to get those filters cleaned. And if you want to know how to do it, you could reach me at O_G_millennial right here. And I could get those questions answered for you and give you a price on some quotes and whatnot. Also, after you like, comment, and subscribe here, go on YouTube to Millennial Nation Worldwide and like that stuff too. We're trying to do a little side project here, and we're trying to get that off the ground. We need 100 people on YouTube. And we're about a quarter of the way there right now. So that's what we got.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Corey, what you got, man?
It's your main man with the game plan, Corey Giovanni. Look, if you're in the area of looking to start your podcast, grow your podcast, monetize your podcast, go ahead, click in the link below and schedule a 30-minute free consultation call. I'll get you right with a framework to get you paid. We'll start your podcast from 1 to 7 days with links in there so you can monetize as well. And in the meantime, between time, we are out giving you news
that you can use.
Yeah, man.
Be safe, guys.
We'll get it one of these days.
One day. One of them.